Hi, I'm Joe Bartz, certified hypnotherapist and Heilpraktiker for psychotherapy here in Germany. And welcome to this second video of Everyday Hypnosis. Quick disclaimer, if you suffer from severe post-traumatic stress disorder or dissociative identity disorder, schizophrenia, or any condition that might be contraindicative to using hypnosis or other relaxation techniques, please consult with your physician before engaging in any of these exercises. In the first video, I introduced the first step of the skeleton exercise and was asked promptly by a friend of mine, so you showed us these exercises, but you didn't give us a guided meditation or something like that. And I said, well, the key is you want to try and develop the feeling for yourself, which means you have to kind of gauge, what am I feeling right now and what is important to me in this moment. And while it's a very simple exercise, not getting into highly philosophical questions of, what do I feel like was the purpose of my life and so on, without saying, well, right now I can feel this part of my body particularly well. I don't know that. So it's important for you to start with something that you feel is important for yourself right at this moment, or at the moment that you're doing these exercises. So we'll give you a quick recap of the first exercise. Very simple one. Pick a body part that is easy to feel at that moment. Like some people I know start with their face, with their hands, or with specific fingers. Begin to feel the state that it's in at that moment in time. And slowly begin to feel its connectedness to the rest of the body parts around it, until basically you feel a whole connectedness through the entire body. The last important stage of that exercise is to kind of feel how your body affects the immediate surroundings. So how it feels in relationship to the chair you're sitting in or the air around you. It all depends on where you are. But the key is, I'm sitting here, this is how I feel here, and this is the area immediately around my body. In this second exercise, we take this one step further in that we remain stationary, but we try to feel that connectedness in movement. I like to start the movement part of these exercises, or the movement exercise, with my breath, because it doesn't require me to be very active, and some deep breathing is always helpful. Well, not always helpful, but is helpful in most cases. So what I'll do, instead of saying I'm breathing into my belly or into my chest or whatever, I focus on the movement of air into my nose. And I let my body pretty much do what it does without me being consciously active best. Like I breathe in through the nose, or I concentrate on the movement of air into the nose. Basically until comfortably full, or comfortably to the point where I don't feel like I can take in any more air. And then I just let the air go. After doing a few of those, I like to take that one stage further, and when I'm full, I wait a few seconds. Some people like to prescribe, I breathe in a 6 count and then hold a 6 count and then exhale a 6 count and then hold a 6 count. Those are not bad exercises. For the purpose here, I like to rely upon the sensations in my body. So if I breathe in all the way, I wait until I feel something change, like where my body says, okay, buddy, it's time to exhale. And then when I'm empty, I do the same thing. I wait. And then allow the body to breathe in. Key aspect of that, many people, when they hold their breath, they close their throat. In this particular instance, it's better not to close your throat, because closing your throat requires some maybe excess effort. And there's also like kind of a pop at the end of both the inhale and the exhale. It's not necessarily right or wrong to not to close your throat, but I find personally that it's easier to stay focused on the sensations in the rest of my body while holding my breath if I don't close my throat. If I close my throat off and I'm focused on holding the air in, like, I gotta hold that air in, well, that's kind of counterproductive. And so while doing this, after I do a few breaths to kind of get used to that type of breathing again, I start focusing on, okay, what changes physiologically here in my chest and in my belly and in my back, because I'm sort of a big guy. When I breathe in like a capacity breath, I can kind of feel my rib cage pushing against my arm here. At a big capacity breath, you can even feel some changes here in the collarbone because the lungs go up fairly high. And you can also kind of feel like that you're moving away from the chair a little bit. You can kind of have fun with it. Look at, okay, what changes? Important there is not necessarily to ask that question, just to perceive what's happening. Which is kind of why I like to give a template and then let patients or people that I work with experiment on their own. Once that's sort of established, these changes happen when I breathe in. This is the effect upon the area around me, on my concentration, on all sorts of things. I like to move on to some simple movements. When I say simple movements, like moving your finger, even just that much. Obviously, don't hold your hand like this. Leave it where it is. But let's say if this is the armrest, I just move the finger like that much. Try to perceive how the finger is connected to the back of my hand and then to my lower arm, and so on and so forth. Also, if I can kind of perceive any changes anywhere else. There's no prescribed amount of your body that you can do with this, but the idea is also, while I'm perceiving this movement, how much of the rest of my body can I perceive at the same time? So if I'm moving my fingers like this slowly is best, because if I'm starting to do this, I get kind of activated, like, oh, I got to do something. But it's really just kind of, okay, this is my hand. My hand's moving. The idea being, okay, I'm moving my finger, but I can still feel the little toe on my right foot. Or I can still feel all the toes on my right foot. Sort of a movement and global awareness of my entire body at the same time. And through all of that, also to begin to kind of feel how that affects the chair. Like if I'm moving my arm a little bit, obviously moving my arm slowly up and down, I can feel the reaction of the chair behind me. Here again, you can kind of play with this, do all sorts of things. Some people, like if they carry a lot of tension in your jaw, it's helpful to perceive, okay, this is my jaw. And when I move it, I can feel changes in the skin in my face, in my ears. Also, sometimes if your ears are a little blocked and you move your jaw, you can kind of hear something going on in your ears or even your jaw moving. Um, there's no specific amount. The idea is to kind of experiment, set aside a little bit of time for it, and just to see how this connectedness is always there, despite me focusing on maybe, okay, I want to grab this pen here, right? Or, I want to write something down, but I still can feel myself sitting on the chair. Um, Part of the idea behind this also is to train different types of awareness or different types of attention, a focused attention and a sort of umbrella type of attention. Um, if you're interested in those ideas, you can look up Ian McGilchrist's book, The Master and His Emissary, about the two types of attention as they relate to the different hemispheres of the brain. But we're not going to get into that here. That's a really big book. So that's it for today. Try and experiment, have fun with it. Let me know what happens. If you have any questions, be sure to hit that like button and subscribe to my channel if you want to see any of these new videos coming out. Have a great day.